Good morning dear students. In last video lecture we studied section 4 genre drama 4.2 novel To Serve with Love written by E.R. Brathwaite, a critical appreciation, and chapter number 17. In today's lecture we are going to learn continue next part of the story, theme of the novel and synopsis of the extract. So last lecture we studied the summary of the novel. In this lecture we will discuss on theme of the novel To Serve with Love. First important theme is that student teacher relationship, prejudice and racism are the major themes of the novel. I'll explain again, very important. Students teacher relationship, prejudice and racism are the major themes of the novel. E.R. Brathwaite gets a job of a teacher in a rather rough and notorious school. Notorious means infamous school, because before that he was an engineer, but because he was black, that's why unfortunately he became jobless, and that's why he accepted his job as a teacher in infamous school London. He finds that the students belong to a background that is not suitable for learning and their overall development and progress. He noticed that the students are in no mood to change their attitude and behavior. As a teacher, he got so many ideas about the teacher when he started his teaching job. Brathwaite, with his novel and creative ideas, innovative techniques, and understanding the students' psychology, ultimately wins their hearts in no time. Though he was bullied, harassed, mentally and physically tortured many times, he didn't lose his patience and continued implementing his novel ideas and techniques that help him to bring a significant change in his students' lives. See what a great thought the writer mentioned here. He tortured by students, he tortured by society, he already frustrated. However, how to came in right track? The writer teaches us here, and in that problematic ways, the important change the writers mention as a teacher with living in students. Next important theme is that the racism prevalent in Great Britain, the racism prevalent in Great Britain during the mid 1940s, the time period during which To Serve with Love takes place, is of primary significance in the novel. The narrator cites repeated incidents in which he experiences the racism of white Britons, including encounters on the bus, at job interviews, at Greenslade School, when searching for housing, at a restaurant with his girlfriend, and so on. At the outset Braithwaite is struck by the unexpectedness of such prejudice. He was brought up in British Guinea and he viewed himself as a British citizen, not as a black British citizen in the British colony. When he served Great Britain in the Royal Air Force RAF, that gave him respect and esteem in the society. The day he left the job, he finds himself to be an outsider. Here the writer mentioned his experience, and that is also important theme. Braithwaite's extensive experience and education was of no use in job interviews, where he is informed that the job has already been filled or he is overqualified for it. This heightens Braithwaite's sense of betrayal for the British. Interestingly, he never lashes out physically and only rarely does he do so verbally. He exhibits patience, endurance at times, and at others he describes the way the rage inside him is transforming into hatred so strong that he desired to hurt those who treat him unfairly. As a result of such experience, Braithwaite finds the students at the Green Slate School to be a bit notorious and rough in behavior, but with proper care and treatment, all the students would surely achieve success and desired goals in their lives. Let's see the synonyms of the extracts. In the extract, Braithwaite recounts the half-yearly report of the Students' Council, in which the students of the school report to the faculty and other students on what they have been studying thus far. Braithwaite's class representative speak knowledgeably about their coursework and place a considerable amount of emphasis on how much they have learned about different people, cultures, customs, and the importance of international and interracial cooperations. Begins first, and it is obvious that as the students progress through the ranks, there is a marked development in their ability to express themselves. Mr. Braithwaite's class, being the oldest, was the last to present their report. Miss Joseph begins the highest class proceeding by clarifying that the common theme underlying all their studies this term is the interdependency of mankind. Potter speaks in the field of math focusing on how greater understanding in the world is fostered, means encouraged and promoted by the use of common weights and measures. Miss Peg and Jackson speak on geography, and Miss Dare and Furman discuss the subject of physiology, with Furman stealing the show by exhibiting a model of a human skeleton and stressing the class conclusion that basically all people were the same. Miss Dodd's reports on history and Miss Joseph on domestic science. Dermans creates a stir by speaking on the required subject of PT, and games, complaining that the class was poorly planned, ill conceived, and pointless. Mr. Weston, Mrs. Dale Evans, and Miss Phillips are chosen at random to answer students' questions arising from the senior presentations. When Denham try to reach decisions, means pursues his inquiry on the necessity of requiring all students to take PT. Mrs. Weston respond quite ridiculously, trying to bluster, means speak angrily, his way out of the subject, and offering no coherent, means no any logic, meaningful, no any meaningful argument. Unexpectedly, the quiet and hesitance, Miss Phillips steps in and gives a steady defense from of the practice, and Denham, knowing that he has been outwit, has no choice but to respectfully keys and stop. He had protest. Brathwaite is immensely satisfied with the progress of the students of his class. According to the synopsis of the extract, the writer mentioned here the role of the minor characters and some major characters. Here it is fully related to the school staffs, different types of the teachers, their subject, and point of view of the students. As a subject teacher, how does they forced to enroll their subjectivity to the particular subjects. Writer briefly mention here, according to the importance of subjects. Some subjects are very important in our life. Actually, each and every subject is important, but some subjects, those occupied by social, physical, and psychological manner of the students, those only considered here skill oriented education, practical and theoretical views. The writer mentioned here, according to the character Miss Joseph, Miss Dodd, Miss Dare, and Furman, they mention their own importance of the subject, such as Miss Peck, geography, Miss Dodd, history, Miss Joseph, domestic science, Denham's PT, Mr. Weston, Mrs. Delevans, and Miss Phillips. Their subject importance, subjectivity of the particular subject, its importance, the writer briefly mentioned here. So this is very beautiful novel written by E.R. Brathwaite, Houston Edward Ricardo Brathwaite, which consists to the 26 characters, 6 major characters and 20 minor characters. Beautiful novel written by E.R. Brathwaite. Highly meaningful theme: social discrimination, teacher-students relationship. All these important facts the writer mentioned here. In next lecture, we will see the next part of the novel. Thank you.